Hi everyone, so I have a Yealink T32G that I purchased about a month ago, and have never been able to get it to work quite right. And I just want to walk everyone through what it's doing, so hopefully I can send this to Yealink and they can help me. So as you can see, the phone's mounted on the wall here. I've got it connected, it's PoE, and it's connected to a gigabit network switch. It's actually an HP Pro Curve. And I also have the uplink cable where you'd normally route your PC. It's actually plugged into my Brother printer right there, though. As I want to show everybody really quick, I actually have disconnected it from the phone just to eliminate it from being a challenge here. So the problem that I'm running into with the Yealink right now is that when I dial numbers on it, and I'll just keep dialing and watch, at some point here it's going to decide I've dialed too many numbers, or I'll turn the volume up too many times, or whatever. There it goes. And it'll just reboot itself. So originally I thought this was a configuration issue, and the first thing I did was I went in and used the web interface on it, which here in a second I will show you, and I reset it back to factory default. So hold on a minute and we'll let this come back up here. And I was trying to eliminate all sorts of things. I went in and I deleted the phone out of our provisioning server, which is just a trivial FTP server. We use an asterisk based phone system here, and so there it is, the phone's back up. So if we come over here, you can see that this is my phone, and I'm going to go to the status button just to say I did, and then I'm going to go over to phone, and there we go. Now it's asking me to type in a login, which I've left this just the standard admin for the moment. And I apologize if the video goes off screen a little bit, because I'm just holding it with my hand here. If I go into the upgrade tab, I click reset to factory, and I say yep, I really do want to do that. So now I've got resetting over here, and it's going to reset. And there we go, now it's back to a reboot. And I'll just hang out here for a minute. And while it's actually doing this, I will comment that you may notice that I have a Polycom IP430 cheat sheet up here. The phones that I replaced were the Polycom IP430s. You can see them sitting there on the floor, and people were complaining that the audio sounded muddy whenever we would be talking to them on the phone. So okay, I've got a factory reset phone here. It now should be totally good. As you can see, it has no provisioning in it whatsoever. So this should be basically back to spec. So same problem. Just going to start dialing some numbers here, and it won't take long before all of a sudden it'll just decide to barf, and there it's now rebooting again. So just for the sake of argument, I thought maybe Yealink put out a bad firmware version. So one of the things that I've noticed is that Yealink, this is a T32G. There's also a T38G that we also have one of, and we love. It's a great phone. This is like a scaled down version of the T38G. And when I was out hunting down the ROM file and the firmware update file, I found out that the T38 and the T32 seem to share a ROM file. Now, that being said, I came in here to select and upgrade firmware, and I backloaded the firmware. Let's see if we can make it see that real clear. To 32.70.0.100. What it came with was 32.70.0.185, if I recall. So I just brought it back to a standard firmware, you know, the base, just to see if it would fix the problem. And the answer is it doesn't. But just for giggles, by the way, as you can see here, my phone is back alive again. Just for giggles, though, let's push it back up to 185. So here's my T32 185 ROM file. I'm going to open it. And right over here, I'm going to say upgrade. And are we sure? Yep, let's upgrade. So I started at 185. I backloaded it to 100 to see if it would resolve this issue. It did not resolve the issue. I am now bringing it back up to 185 just to say we did. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. So anyway, we have a T32G that we replaced one of the Polycoms with, and we love it. It's a great phone. We've had it for about 6 months. People say the quality is great on it. It's been rock solid. No reboot issues like this at all. So we decided for our individual offices that we would go ahead and buy something a little smaller. We only really need 3 lines. We actually only need 1 line for each office. You know, each person has 1 extension, and you know, we have call waiting and all of that. So rarely do I need more than 1 line inside a person's office. So I looked at the T32G and thought, well, you know, great phone. The T38G is a great phone. The T32G is perfect. So we bought 2 of them, and of the 2 of them we bought, 1 of them is running just fine, and I seem to have inherited the one that has some issues with it. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but the upgrade is basically done. It'll finish out here in a minute, and then it'll go ahead and reboot. And I've been out on the forums and I've tried all the, forcing it to provision to another TFTP server. Again, at this point, I have eliminated this phone out of my TFTP server so that it will not auto provision. Trying to eliminate the provisioning software as being the cause of the issue. And I'm just running the phone as a stock phone. I mean, if it weren't for the fact that I'm getting power over Ethernet, I would pull the network line out of the phone just to eliminate the network altogether. So there we go. It finished its upgrade. Now it's gonna go through and initialize. I might add, I've also I have turned up the logging on this phone and captured the system logs out of it. Looks a whole lot like a Linux system log on the back end, and but I can't find anything in there that's a big smoking gun like, oh, that right there, that's the cause. So I'm kind of at a loss. I'm hoping Yealink, I'm gonna email them after I make this video. I'm hoping Yealink will RMA this phone for me and get me a new one. One of those things that's very frustrating to me is that Yealink appears to not have a United States presence at all. I'm finding that getting the phones is a challenge. I'm having to go to various distributors and they sell out of them, and then all of a sudden I have to go find another distributor. So okay, enough jabbering. Here I'm back to the regular phone thing here. Let's do our same little test. Yep, there it goes. So obviously I've got a problem with this particular phone, and here's hoping we can get it resolved.